So this is that little rammed earth piece that I've been working on. I'm using this really a primitive form here, and then I screen just this dirt right here. And this is after a pretty hard, pretty serious rainstorm. I was actually kind of wondering if this was even going to fall down. But I just put, I mean, even this little lip, you can see right here on the edge, you know, stayed there. So this is going to last really well. So basically I put that form up there, and you can, over here on this side, I don't know if you can even see it anymore because it was splashed, but I did, you know, threw some rocks in the very bottom because I thought all the mud would leak out. But over 2 or 3 days, different times, I think I built this section probably to here the first day, and then the next time I came and did this part, and then probably the third day I came and did this rest of this section. And then this I did just this Saturday. And this is actually four different layers. I think there's a bottom layer here. Then this is 2 layers in here. And then there's a top on here. These 2 were a little bit too wet, I felt, as I compacted it. And then this one was pretty good. There's a big crack in the bottom of this right here, and that goes all the way through to the other side. And somebody asked me if that's going to be a problem. And, you know, maybe it should be, but I think just the massiveness of this is just going to keep it from being problematic. There was also a little crack on the top of this, just from drying out, but it seems like it's held together pretty good. And you can see that crack right in here from that. But yeah, the wind was blowing super hard the other day. You can see the rain, you know, on this bucket, pretty much how it splashed up all that mud. It was pretty rainy and pretty hard, but I didn't do anything to this. So yeah, I got mud all over this thing. Okay, so here's the form now set up. It takes about, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes to set that up. Basically, you just put these round pieces down there, and then you put this 2x12 piece on top of it. And then these just insert in here. These are just loose, so they can have that motion like that one just fell. And that helps keep the side of the form. Then I put this here on the end. This is just a piece of an old desk that I cut off to hold that in the right place. And then at the end we have that little piece of wood. So when you come inside here, you can see we're missing that corner there, and it's kind of not spaced too good. But when we start loading it up, it'll all kind of work out. Okay, and so then this is kind of the consistency that you actually want this. A lot of people think you mix it up like adobe, which is pretty wet, but this stays pretty dry. Basically, the idea is you want it so that if you grab it, you know, it makes a clod, but it'll fall apart too. But that's pretty good. I don't know how that's going to work in there just because there's such huge gaps, but we'll load some of that in there loose, and then it'll take 2 or 3 wheelbarrows full of that before we can kind of hold a spot there. So I'm done for today. Got to go to work. Looks like I probably put about, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 inches of dirt in there. One of the things I realized is when those big gaps are open on the bottom, it really needs to have a little bit wetter dirt. That first stuff I put was a little bit too dry, and it just wouldn't kind of fill those gaps, but I've got a little bit more moisture in there, and that's going to sit there today and dry up, and we'll come out tomorrow and see what we can do.